Welcome back, everybody. Module 6, supporting your team through social media. How do you use this platform in order to be able to edify your team, to train your team, to communicate with your team, to help build the belief inside of your team? Well, I'm going to give you a couple strategies. And again, this is from the 77 people that we interviewed that gave us their secrets. So there's two sides to this. One is a public side and the other one is a private side. Let me tell you what people do. This is the best practices from around the world. Number one thing that they do on the public side is they recognize people. They recognize people inside of their team on their profile, in social media, on whatever platform. They congratulate people for getting started. They don't, again, the more generic you keep the congratulations, the more interest you're going to attract from your prospects. If you say, hey, congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, because they just got started with me and we're going to explore this entrepreneurial adventure together. Congratulations, well done. That's much more powerful than saying, congratulations to these people for joining this company and representing this product with me. Now, it's not as interesting. Okay, it's not as curiosity driven. It looks like an ad. So recognize and edify people for making a great decision. Hey, congratulations to this person who brought 50 people in their organization to this particular event. Look, check out a picture of these people. Or congratulations for this person who's moving through the ranks, who just got this promotion. Congratulations on the promotion. Or I'm so excited to work with people like this. I'm so excited to partner up and collaborate with people like this, people like these people that, happy birthday to this person because they're a champion, they're an entrepreneur. I'm so excited to be able to work with them. You see, if you keep it generic in your congratulations, you're going to attract more prospects. If you make it specific to your company or your product on a public platform, regardless of the platform, if you keep it specific, you name the company, you name the product, you name the rank, you name any of that stuff, people go, not interested. Okay? Because they'll put their own preconception on top of it versus you having fun, you being responsible, even in an indirect way, for someone else having success. You guys having fun together, you guys working together. It plants the seed that, hey, maybe I can work with that person. Maybe I could have fun with that person. You can even tell the story. I met this person online. I met this person on the social media platform that you're looking at right now. And who would have thought that just 2 months later, they would have been able to get their new car, or they've been able to go on this vacation with their kids, or they've been able to do these things that they didn't think were possible before. Who would have thought? So start thinking about how you would recognize and edify your lifestyle and your relationships with the people on your team, because understand those people on your team are going to feel good about that, right? If you get bragged about, or do you feel good about that? If somebody writes a post about how awesome you are, do you feel good about that? Are you going to share that? Answers, of course. So using the public side of things to recognize, to edify, to congratulate, to inspire your existing organization, and at the same time letting the people in your world that are not part of your organization yet or might not even know about it, let them kind of view in and see, wow, that looks fun. Wow, they're working together. What does that mean? Wow, they're having this success. I don't even understand. What is it you do again? You're going to start generating interest from people, either directly in the comments. How is this? How are you doing this? What's going on? Or private messages, or they'll reach out to you in your about section with your contact information. So that's what you do publicly. This is what the top people around the world do publicly. What the people who aren't quite as experienced, you know what they do? They say, congratulations for this person hitting this particular rank in this company. They are working with me inside of this company. Go network marketing. They do that, and the person that they're bragging about feels good. People inside your company feel good, but the prospects don't feel a sense of curiosity or a sense of wanting to learn more. So what is our goal through this whole process? Education and understanding, right? We're going to try and educate more people to the point that they understand what it is that we do. So on the public side, that's what you do. Now on a private side, I've interviewed a ton of these 77, but also our team has interviewed these 77. And let me tell you what they do, how they use social media on the private side. They actually create, and mostly on Facebook, they create private groups. They create private pages, pages where it's invitation only, pages just for their team. Now, I could show you a bunch of examples of this, but if I do that, now I'm not neutral again, right? If I give you case study after case study and I show you exactly what these look like, now I'm not neutral, and you're going to look at that company or you look at that product, and I don't want you to do that. I just want you to get the concept. The concept is constant, right? Platforms will change all the time, but inside of Facebook, you can create private pages, and here's what they do on those pages. They tell stories. Stories of success, stories of inspiration, stories of overcoming obstacles, stories of building belief. They feature different people within the organization. They brag about different people within the organization. They tell stories about their company. They tell stories about the event that they just attended. They tell stories about within your company's policies and procedures about product experiences that people have had, and success in gathering customers, and success using social media, and everything else. They tell stories. That's one of the things that they do inside of that group. Second thing they do is they communicate. If there's updates, information, they train their team to once a day go to that page. Once a day, go to that team page. Go to that private group within the organization to find out what's going on. Don't assume that if somebody just joins that page that they're automatically going to see posts in their feed. That's not how fan pages and not how groups work. Just know that. When I started my fan page on Facebook, approximately, according to Facebook's algorithms, about 16%, about 3 years ago, 16% or so of my fans, my followers, would see the post that I put up. It means 84% didn't. That's 3 years ago. Guess what it is today? Less than 2%. Facebook will maximum allow the fans of Network Marketing Pro, people who said, yes, I want to be notified when you post something on Network Marketing Pro, less than 2% actually see it. That's with groups over 500,000, less than 2%. And it's going down every single day. Just the fact that you have a group doesn't mean that that group's seeing everything. Just the fact that you have fans doesn't mean that they're seeing everything. So you have to train your organization to log in and check that page every day. Now, if you do that and you're successful in building that in your culture, the communication platform is enormous. If there's a compensation plan enhancement, if there's a new product, if there's some type of a promo happening, if there's some contest, if there's some incentive, if something happens with your company, something happens with the leadership, something where people need to know, an event information, whatever it happens to be, the person who is most connected with their organization wins. The person who's able to communicate best with their organization wins. So one, you need to have the platform, which is easy to do. Just go set up a group and make it private. It's easy to do it. Start inviting people in your organization into that group, and then train them to visit that group once a day to see if there's any news, to see if there's a story, to see if there's an update. And you as a leader, guess what you're going to be doing? In addition to your social media aspect, if you want to support your team using social media, yes, you're going to be recognizing them generically in a public forum, but you're also going to be communicating with them privately on a private forum, all right, directly on a private forum. So stories, communication, any info, updates, news, question and answers. If people have questions, have them post those questions inside of that group and answer that. Have the leaders, and you can have your top leaders in your group be administrators for that page, have them get in there and answer those questions so people have a resource in addition to the company's customer service. Validation, just encouragement, just letting them know that they're making the right decision. You do a lot of that through stories. Recognition, if you just pour recognition into that platform and let people get recognized, and people can feel good about being recognized in front of their peers. Promotion, you can be promoting products, you can be promoting holiday seasons. You could be promoting an event that's coming up. You could be promoting a rank advancement or a contest inside of the company. You could use this as a promotional platform in order to be able to engage your team. What's the three things I said that we do? We sell products and services to customers, right? But how do we do it? One, we gather our own customers personally. Two, we build a network of other people doing the same thing. The bigger the network, the better. But three, we improve the productivity of the network. You can have a big network, but if they're all not doing anything, if they're not engaged, they don't know what's going on, they're not very valuable. If they're highly engaged, they're valuable. So this is how people, the best in network marketing, use social media to improve the productivity of the network that you have. Once you just start, when you have one person on your team, start there. Then 2, and then 5, and then 10. As you start adding people to your team, use that as a platform. Okay, now if you're right down at the very beginning and somebody in your upline already has a group, go ahead and plug into that group. That's fine. But once you start seeing yourself as a leader, as a thought leader for you and your team, then it's time to start communicating directly with that team in order to be able to provide this value. So promotion is another aspect. And then products and services. You could be talking about the products and services. You could be telling stories, educating people, giving people the science, giving people the clinical studies or whatever happens, the validation, the articles, the news reports, whatever it happens to be about what it is that you do. See, it's one thing to bring people in. It's another thing to build the belief in the team. It's another thing to educate the team. It's another thing to inspire and validate the team and move them forward and help them become more productive. So that's the two big overarching strategies that the most successful people using social media network marketing today utilize the platform to support their teams on a public basis, recognizing and telling stories like crazy in a generic way. That's key if you want to attract people to reaching out to you as prospects. And 2, creating private groups to be able to tell stories, to communicate, to train, to answer questions, to validate, to recognize, to promote, and to educate people on products and services. All right? So if you want to have success supporting your team, follow that advice, get out there and make that happen. And in Module 7 coming up, I can't wait to share with you how to duplicate all of this. So it's not just you having success through social media. It's you helping everybody else do the same thing. So I'll see you there.
Perdón, chicos. Listo. Sí se sigue viendo, ¿verdad? Bueno, el módulo 6 fue muy sencillo. Pero una de las cosas más importantes es empezar a crear comunidad. Que tus redes sociales las empieces a ocupar para agregar valor y crear comunidad. Y aquí, justamente, vamos a hablar de cómo duplicar esta estrategia con tu equipo. Cómo hacer que esto sea duplicable con todos. Dura también bien poquito. Y, a ver. Vamos.
Welcome to Module 7. You've gone through 6 modules. Most people don't finish anything. The fact that you're here means that you're somebody special. You're prepared to implement what we're talking about. And duplication is key because, again, what are we doing? We're expanding our network, right? We're increasing the productivity of that network. And if we don't get duplication to happen, guess what network marketing is without duplication? It's a job. It's just a job. You're going to have to just keep grinding. You're going to just have to keep doing it all yourself, keep selling all the product yourself, keep doing all the recruiting yourself. You're going to keep doing everything by yourself. And if you don't ultimately have duplication, it's just a job. And having a network marketing experience that is just the job over a long period of time, come on. We're here to be able to create residual income. We're here to be able to create leverage. We're here to be able to create freedom, choices, options. That's the great benefits of network marketing. So we want to be able to create duplication. So in social media, it's one thing, and here's one of the dangers that I see out there. Some people go deep into social media and they don't have any duplication. It's all them. And they've just traded one job outside of network marketing for another job inside of network marketing. So I want to give you some principles that will help you. Number one, well, I'm already giving you some principles that will help you create results with social media, but it's really, really critical that you learn how to duplicate those results in social media. So principle number one, to duplicate your efforts through social media is to keep it simple. Keep it simple. It's going to be so tempting for you to get complicated. It's going to be so tempting for you. Well, I could just accelerate this and I could buy some ads here and I could create these squeeze pages and websites and I can come up with these free offers and I can do all of this stuff. Yes, you can do those things. But you pay a price. And again, this is the study of the top people in the network marketing universe using social media. What do they do? The ones that duplicate is they keep it simple. See, simple is not natural. What's natural is you have a garden and weeds fill up the garden. That's natural. Complication is natural. It's like gravity. Simple takes discipline. Simple takes focus. Simple kind of puts some fences around and reminds people, hey, don't get lost over there. Hey, don't go down the rabbit hole. Hey, be careful. Hey, let's just do this and get some results first. Would you rather get better results personally? Or would you rather help 100 people in your team get results? Reminding people all the time that duplication is vital if we're going to be expanding our network beyond your efforts alone. Would you rather get 100% of your own efforts using social media or anything else? Or would you rather get 1% of 100 people's efforts using social media or anything else? The answer is, of course, I'd rather get 1% of 100 people. Now, you have to guard people once they start inside of the social media, give them the little A, B's, and C's that we've gone through in this program to be able to give them a framework of what really works. Let them know that, listen, Eric Worre did the research. We interviewed 77 people who each recruited more than 100 people and are duplicating their organizations around the world. We've interviewed these people. We got the secrets. Let's stay here. At some point, if you do decide, let me give you a warning, because some of you aren't going to listen to me anyway. You're going to say, well, again, but I'm going to do this advanced thing anyway. Fine. If you do decide to get advanced, keep it quiet. Don't tell everybody in your team that they have to have their own personal website. Don't tell everyone on your team that they have to have a squeeze page and they have to build an email list and they have to do all these different things that online marketers won't do. If you just can't resist it, make sure that your public face is around this simple, duplicatable social media strategy. Keep it there so everybody doesn't get intimidated. They don't feel like you have to do what you do. They don't get stuck and go down the rabbit hole. You don't lose them in all these distractions that are natural in the online world. It's a distraction machine. You turn on your browser and the distraction machine is turned on. Everybody's going to want to get distracted. You've got to make sure that you put a wall around this discipline and say, we are not interested in what works. We are interested in what duplicates. Hear me again. Don't be so interested in what works. Don't be so militant and defensive about what works for you. Be more interested in what duplicates with your team. So why do you think I talk about the creation of a brand that every single person on your team could create? without consultants and without spending money, because that's something that everyone can do. Why do we talk about the strategies of how to post as an individual that will start to attract friends and followers without advertising, without websites, without any of that other stuff? Because that's something that everybody on your team can do. How do I talk? Why do I give you the principles of how to convert those people into prospects without spending money, without all this education, without going through tons and tons of courses and becoming an online social media expert? Because I'm more interested in duplication than I am in what might work for one individual person. So be careful what you talk about. Be careful what you feature. Be careful. It's not important what works for an individual. It's important what duplicates for an entire network of people. So keep it simple. In addition to keeping it simple, make sure if you want to duplicate that you're focused on the blend between offline strategies, personal relationships, live events, getting people together face to face, and online strategies. If you just go all online, guess what? Duplication starts to break down, because that personal interaction with the offline, that's the glue that holds it together. Those relationships, those friendships, that's what makes it real. You might play with your online strategies, but until you go to an event, until you go to your company convention, some of the people that are just building online right now, and are asking me for coaching, guess what my biggest coaching is? Get that group into a company convention as fast as possible. Do not take no for an answer. Get them to experience the big picture. Get them to see what we have to offer here. Get them to go, wow, okay. Leaders are born at events, at offline things. Leaders are born here. Now they might be found here in the online strategies, but they're created, they're born. They spring into being in the offline connection. So make sure, if you want it to duplicate, make sure you're focused on the blend. Okay. Now, in addition to keeping it simple, in addition to being quiet if you go advanced, in addition to focusing on the blend, key strategies, make sure that you're patient, you and your team. If you want it to duplicate, you have to instill in people the idea that this is not an immediate fix. When we surveyed all these 77 people around the world, when we surveyed all of them, guess there was a magic number when things started to happen. The magic number was 2,000. When you had 2,000 people that were either friends or followers or fans of yours that were not connected with your company or your product yet, 2,000 quote unquote potential prospects. That's when it started to happen. That's kind of the tipping point. So be patient. Let people know. Look, you're going to start here and you're going to see what happens, but it's not going to really kick in until you get 2,000 on top of people already connected with your company or your product. Okay. So if you set that as a culture, people understand, oh, okay, then, duplication it requires a little bit of patience to be able to make that happen. So 2,000 is kind of like the tipping point. Everybody should set a goal. Facebook has a limit as an example of 5,000, whatever the platform is, but try to get to 5,000 as quick as you can of people who are potential prospects, because then it's just rolling. Then it's just happening so long as you're active and you're doing what we suggested that you do through this course. It's going to be coming to you every single day. You're going to have people to talk to every single day. Okay? Keep it simple, focus on the blend, and have patience. Next, if you want it to duplicate, you have to tend the garden. And here's what I mean by that. You have to police bad behavior. If there's people inside of your organization, inside of your team, that are not following the policies that we shared with you during this course, you have to police that behavior and try to educate them as to why that's a bad idea. You may even have to block some people. So those posts don't show up for you and your potential prospects, because they might infect your organization with all of their spam and all of their nonsense. If they're tagging you on stuff that's spammy, you got to police bad behavior. And you also, at the same time, you want to duplicate, model successful behavior. Watch what people are doing. Follow pages where you see people doing really good things, and notice how they're adapting to changing policies within the different platforms. Notice how they're evolving and moving things around. Maybe they started using this a little bit more. Maybe they started using video a little bit more, started doing different things. Model successful behavior, but you also must police bad behavior within your network because it will infect your entire network if you're not diligent. So you want to duplicate, police bad behavior, model success. Next is be willing to make constant adjustments and improvements. You're going to start with a particular plan and it's always going to be moving and adapting and changing, and people's tastes are going to change and people's interests are going to change and what people are watching is going to change. And as that changes, be willing to adapt and adjust and communicate that with your organization. I'm going to wrap up this module, which is kind of the official course, but and I have a bonus module for you that we're going to talk about different platforms. I'm going to talk about Facebook Live. I'm going to talk about some video strategies, some different things, just kind of a catch-all of a bunch of things I didn't cover here. But here was my goal through this whole process. My goal is for you to really buy in to utilizing social media in a responsible way in order to be able to tell more people about important products and services and about network marketing as an entrepreneurial option. If you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, or if you know people with an entrepreneurial bone in their body, this is better. And social media is going to help you expand your reach. What I hope I've been successful in doing is giving you some ideas on starting to establish your brand, understanding that's going to be a work in progress. Your brand, what you stand for, what you stand against, what are your passions, what are your hobbies, what are your interests? And then using that to be able to start attracting friends, fans, and followers, the 3 F's, attracting those people into your network, expanding your network, becoming more influential. I didn't start with a reach of 5 million people a week. I started with a very small group of people. And it expanded and expanded and expanded. And today it's 5 million. It's growing all the time. So just know that if you start to expand your reach, you can just continue that so long as you're passionate about your brand and you're consistent with it, you'll expand your reach. And once you start to expand your reach, what I hope I've been able to give you is some strategies to convert that community, some of that community, into a prospect category. Convert somebody into somebody willing to listen to your product or service, willing to listen to your opportunity, willing to consider what you have to offer. And then I hope I've been able to share with you some of the best ways to actually convert those people from prospects into customers, from prospects into distributors. And then we've talked about how do you use social media in addition to your offline strategies. How do you use it online to be able to recognize and communicate with publicly and privately? How do you do that? I hope I've given you some strategies to be able to do that. Lots of resources, the workbook and the exercises and everything that the team helped put together through this process. And then finally, how to duplicate. How do you duplicate this so it's not just you? How do you duplicate this so you're not the only one with a breakthrough? You start to have a group that's expanding around the world. We sell products and services. We do that by personally gathering customers. We do that by building a network of other people doing the same thing. And we do that by improving the productivity of the network. Social media is an incredible tool, but it is a tool. Platforms are going to come and go. They're going to change. But the concepts that I've shared with you are going to remain the same. They will be valuable 10 years from now when you're laughing about the fact that I'm talking about some of the social media platforms I'm talking about. It won't matter because the concepts are going to stay the same. You'll be able to use them on any platform in the world. So last piece of advice, and again, I want you to check out the bonus materials because I'm going to talk about all the platforms that are currently out there. I'm going to talk about how to use video. I'm going to talk about everything else. But let me just wrap this officially, Module 7, up with this. Start now. Start today. It doesn't have to be a finished product. It is a work in progress. Start today. Start to create your brand today. Start to post like I shared with you today. Improve that as you move forward. Don't feel like you have to have it perfect to get started. You don't have to have a start date. The start date should be today. Progress is perfection. Start now and get better every single day. A year from now, you won't be able to recognize what you started with, but it's going to be better. Start. Just get into action. Move forward. Get progress, because progress is perfection. So I want to congratulate you for making the decision to become a social media master in network marketing. I want to congratulate you for the decision to find the right blend and to be responsible in how we do this. I want to congratulate you for the decision of being an ambassador or for somebody who does it right and holding people who do it wrong accountable. I want to congratulate you for taking a step in your own education. I'm proud of you. Together, we're doing important work. You've got a product to share, you have an opportunity to share. So as I leave you, my encouragement is for you to just go out there, face your fears, and make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, my wish for all of you, as always, is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we have a better way. Now, offline and online. Let's go tell the world. Everybody have an amazing day. Have a spectacular week. Have an incredible month. Have the best year of your life. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Buenísimo. Pues eso fue todo, chicos. Vieron que fueron 2 sesiones súper cortitas. Ya prácticamente fue lo último. Hoy saben perfectamente la dinámica. Para todos los que quieran sus cuadernillos, mándenme mensajito, quiero mi cuadernillo. Los que no tengan mi WhatsApp, se los comparto aquí. Y pues cuéntenme si alguien quiere levantar su manita para compartirme un poquito de qué les pareció estas últimas sesiones, que literal fue un cierre, creo que fue muy bueno, porque al final se los vuelve a repetir Eric Ward, ¿no? Empieza con lo que tienes, empieza, después perfeccionas. Y eso es lo más importante de todo. Después vas a ir perfeccionando, te vas a ir volviendo mejor y mejor. Pero empieza con lo que eres ahorita, con lo que ya tienes, con lo que puedes hacer. Y una cosa bien importante, a mí, por ejemplo, les comparto, ¿no? A mí me daba terror